We were at the trailer launch and we were listening to you. It automatically becomes a interesting and a serious offer the minute Shah Rukh calls you.
Yes, of course. He once called me for a movie that didn't happen when we were very young. He once called me for Mehuna.
Oh.
And he said there's a great part. And then Farah called me later and said, no.
This is the same production house that gave you all the biggest title last year. So is it again exciting when something comes from Red Chillies?
He has this knack of being able to find art in its most uncomfortable space,
Right.
and he invites the audience to sit with that discomfort.
Right.
Whether it was Bhakshak, whether it's Kartavya, these are stories that are so rooted and are so Indian.
Great production house, best OTT platform. How often does this happen in an actor's career?
This is my first time with Red Chillies and with Pulkit, so I was very excited about that.
But Netflix, you're a very old hand. Like,
Yeah, 3 seasons of
Yeah.
Delhi crime.
I got very lucky with the Red Chillies because I'd never worked
Yes.
with them before, but then I actually signed Bads of
Bads.
Bollywood and Kartavya.
One Kartavya that you yet have to do. You said at the trailer on that you were not doing homework. you
No, someone said, what do you feel, where do you feel you've neglected your duty? We both said that. I mean, it
Your
reminds me of
sister commented on
school.
our Instagram and said he never did the homework, but he always had the answers. Yeah.
I wonder how. So the families ask
For me, it's very clear. मैंने अपनी बीवी के लिए अभी तक घर नहीं लिया. That's my Kartavya,
Ah, nice.
which is pending.
where does she live?
She lives with me.
I mean, he wants to get
But I want to get her a house.
You separate house. You want to go somewhere else.
Guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. Thank you so much for your time, and have to give it to Netflix to make interviews so much fun. I love these props. This just makes it so much fun. Thank you, Netflix, wherever you're watching. Saif, I'll start with you. We were at the trailer launch and we were listening to you. It automatically becomes a interesting and a serious offer the minute Shah Rukh calls you.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Even though he did, he once called me for a movie that didn't happen when we were very young. He once called me for Mehuna.
Oh.
And he said there's a great part. And then Farah called me later and said, no, listen. So there is that. I shouldn't say these things, I'm too honest. But it'll get highlighted somewhere. But yeah, so yes, of course. I mean, you know, it's a wonderful production. And I think they pick up really exciting and interesting ideas, Red Chillies. And it was very cool to get an offer like that.
Right.
And with Pulkit.
Right.
Particularly, and it's a really nice script,
Okay.
and it's a proper kind of part, if I may say, a kind of hero's part in what makes a hero. It's one of those. It's a moral tale, and there's pressure on this character at his work, at
Right.
his, you know, and his home. And I was very excited to see how will he get out of this. What choices will he make?
Right.
And when there's so much pressure. And then you have to decide and kind of take a stand.
Right.
These are what heroes are, and therefore it was lovely to get a chance to play it.
True. Yeah. You know, this is the same production house that gave you all the biggest title last year. So is it again exciting when something comes from Red Chillies?
You know, Red Chillies and Netflix share the same passion for telling emotionally grounded stories when it comes to streaming. I think it dates back to The Bar of Blood and then to Darlings, which also had a newer voice like Jasmeet. And of course, the Bads of Bollywood, which also had a new voice. And when we did Bhakshak as well with Pulkit, he has this knack of being able to find art in its most uncomfortable space.
Right.
And he invites the audience to sit with that discomfort.
Right.
Whether it was Bhakshak, whether it's Kartavya. These are stories that are so rooted
Right.
and are so Indian that I think Red Chillies and Netflix both kind of come together, and we want to champion these storytellers and these kind of stories.
Yeah. You know, to both of you, the same thing. You know, great production house, best OTT platform. How often does this happen in an actor's career? How often do these things happen? You want to start? Yeah.
This is my first time with Red
Red
Chillies
Chillies.
and with Pulkit, so I was very excited about that. Of
But
course.
Netflix, you're a very old hand. Like,
Yeah, 3 seasons of
Yeah.
Delhi crime.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Netflix office. I came the other day and I said, oh, that's my room.
Yeah. You and I are the regular ones.
We come more often than the rest of them. So Netflix is home ground. But Red Chillies and Pulkit was exciting, and of course Saif. I had never worked with him and always wanted to. So yeah, this was a great experience.
Right. Same, Manish. You know, how often do these things match that everything works out.
Well, I got very lucky with the Red Chillies because I'd never worked
Yes,
with them
you
before, but then I actually signed Bads of
Bads.
Bollywood and Kartavya pretty much in the same month.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was very happy because they were just such different genres of worlds and storytelling, both with young directors, one
Right.
very young and one
Yeah.
young. So I was very happy to do that. And of course with Netflix, I mean, Powder came on Netflix UK in 2017.
Correct.
And
Oh,
since
yeah.
then,
Which we were in together.
we were in
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Rasika and I we actually had a couple of scenes together in that.
Yeah.
So, so that actually became very popular in Europe
Oh, did it?
when it came on the UK
Okay.
platform of
Okay.
Netflix. Yeah. And since then, I've done a whole bunch of stuff with Netflix. I'm
Right.
very happy. Yeah.
Right. Saif, before you came, we were discussing the trailer outside. Everybody's seen it. A lot of people were saying just one thing. This is the Saif we love. This is the Saif we've seen on and off. We see you in this zone. Do you agree? Do you enjoy this personally?
Yes, very much. I think it's nice to get an opportunity to play something rooted, grounded, and heartland, as we say. And the director, again, Pulkit, created this atmosphere that was. I mean, I think all of us really kind of enjoyed a good atmosphere in which to work in, as in not personally, but
Right.
as a character. The kind
Right.
of environment he's created for the character, the set at home, and the whole art decoration of it, and bringing it together. So it was different because, I mean, it gave an opportunity. Like I said, it's heroic and all that only because of the decisions taken and the kind of atmosphere that he made, created for all of us at work and at home were kind of fresh because. For me, because it's not a world that I normally inhabit,
Right.
and therefore to get a chance to inhabit that with all these people was different and exciting. So I hope people enjoy that also.
Right. Ruchikaa, you all are releasing a lot. I was just here last week doing interviews for Glory, and
Yes.
that was with another Pulkit. Where does this fit in your menu, in all the titles that you all are releasing?
I always say this, our biggest superpower is really our variety. I think whether it's Accused, whether it's Made in Korea, Glory, Taskari, Kartavya, Hum Hindustani, Ma Behan, I think we really look at the length and breadth of our slate, and no two titles ideally and hopefully should look the same, because there is a growing taste cluster. Streaming has expanded what creativity means, and distinct and different kind of stories are finding so much resonance throughout the country, globally. And I think our endeavor is that to really have a balance of new voices that want to tell distinctive stories. I think at this point we're reveling in telling something that's not formulaic. Just like Kartavya, I think right at the top you feel like it's this gritty drama, but at its core it really picks emotional tension over spectacle.
Right.
And this feels refreshing, and for us it may feel like a bit of a bold bet, but when we take it with a cast that's so comfortable in their skin, with a creator who's so sure with what he wants to tell, I think we just feel that kind of confidence in putting it out to the world.
Right. Rasika, even you do such good and interesting work. For this, tell us, Pulkit, does he narrate or he gives you the script, and what do you prefer? You prefer a narration? You prefer reading?
Usually I prefer to read, definitely. Even if the director wants to narrate it, I would always read it again after they've narrated it.
Okay.
But Pulkit was quite an ideal director. You rarely find a director who kind of just gives you enough information, not too much, not too little. So he was just that kind of director for me, where he's not sort of over-explaining a moment such that you talk it away, and not under-explaining it either, that you don't know what he wants, you know. So it was very nice like that. And also I think a lot of people, when they're directing crime dramas, get a little stressed about the pace of things, and he was just not that. And I think the scenes between Saif and me are really the quieter moments in the film, and he's really sort of let us breathe through that. It was never like, this is taking too long. He said, do whatever you want, take as many pauses as you want. And when somebody says that to an actor, you're like, chalo, aram se
It's very
karte.
comfortable, isn't it? It's easygoing. Which is wonderful.
actually, where
I'm
it's
really curious why you asked that question, though.
Because
What? Did
it's
you
very
read or did you
interesting.
narrate?
Every actor has a different answer. Do you prefer reading? Do you prefer...
I like to read,
Okay.
and then maybe, obviously, if you hear it from someone, you get an idea of how they're seeing it and what they want to do. So that's important.
Okay.
But I feel a kind of a, unless it's a great narration, which it really should be,
Yeah.
I immediately start falling asleep.
But that's not always the case. Correct. Yeah.
I have to stab myself in the I just start falling because it's not everyone can,
Yeah, not everyone is a
that,
good
yeah.
narrator of their own
Correct.
script.
or a joke or any story,
Right.
even in life. People sometimes just don't punch it when they talk to you, about if they're telling a story.
True.
So I think it's a difficult thing to do. I remember stars, my contemporaries when I was growing up, like people I respected used to say, "Who's narrating?" Because that's kind of key. People like the late Neeraj Vora, for example, and the Rajkumar Santoshi ji. These guys are master narrators. Anis Bazmi.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially those kind of that genre, right? You have to like the
So
punch.
it makes a big difference.
Right.
Because it's slow. Sorry.
No, I was just saying
Sorry,
with
I
Pulkit,
interrupted.
it's very interesting because actually it starts right at the inception. So Pulkit asked me, कि आपको रोमन में दूं या देवनागरी में?
That's nice. Yeah.
So that is a question that you get asked very, very rarely.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
last about 8 to 10 years,
Yeah.
I might have been asked that question maybe twice.
What did you answer?
Yeah. What do you
Devanagari, obviously.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'll always read it in Devanagari because what happens then is that you read it in the language that you're going to play it in,
Okay.
and the space is then within the page.
Right.
Because for me, Roman just doesn't work unless it's an English series, which we
Right.
don't do.
But reading is the key because there's no, there's no extra fluff. You can't hide behind anything. Just read it then. That's what it is.
But does it
So
have-
people can narrate, that it's going to be
True.
amazing and this is what it is and it's a lovely cold winter
Yeah.
night. And, but what is on the page is what it is.
Yeah.
Correct. But does it happen that when you read it's, and the narration turns out something completely different?
If you read and narrate,
Yeah, no, sometimes first you read it and you thought something else, and when you met the director, they had a different picture.
maybe, hopefully. The idea is that everyone, you roughly see the same kind of thing, but I guess directors are also, that's what they do, right? Is visualize that material differently and make it come alive. And that's where the director comes in.
Right.
But do you think, Saif, that there's any other country in the world, and I've often thought about this, is there any other country in the world with any other film industry which actually narrates to actors?
I wouldn't know.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe it come from a time before scripts. It's a habit that, because scripts have only started, this is where we start giving our age away. But it's not, but it's
It's fairly
it
recent.
was fairly recent development having scripts. It was all narrations.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And I think the world over, in the Western
Dilchata
world, they've
was the
had
first
scripts
script I
forever.
read. on
Yeah?
this. Yeah. Sorry?
In the Western world, they've had scripts forever. It's a little newer for us, maybe. No?
Maybe, I
Do
don't
they
know.
not do narrations? I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, but I would think not.
I'm sure they must be saying how you're saying it. And the director must be telling the story.
How do you cut off that, when a passionate director with a masala film comes and says, jala dunga, ye kar dunga, log seat faad denge. How do you cut off from all that and just stick to, this is it and this is not
And there's
it?
two things. There was one director who was passionately narrating, and the security came in once thinking that someone was killing somebody, which was great.
You already have an audience. Yeah.
What was the question? I forgot the second
Yeah,
part.
like how do you cut off the noise that, that if extra...
So
effect-
somebody told me, gave me some advice once. They said, listen, because someone had narrated ki ek alishan bangle ke samne ek Ferrari aake rukti hai. So he said, listen, just imagine the worst house in the world and the worst car. Imagine a rickshaw coming and stopping. No offense to rickshaw. Does the story still work?
Correct.
Yeah. Don't count on the frills,
Count on the
like the
frills.
bangla that he's narrating.
Right.
So then these are things.
But
Right.
if you were to choose between having a narration or reading a script, which one would it be?
Reading. Unless it's a brilliant, passionate, funny narration by a very talented narrator.
It does not have security guards.
No, even that's okay. If security comes in, great, because at least he's...
sign.
Because then I think if you hear a director, they used to say,
Right.
if you listen to a director describe the subject he's going to make, you'll understand whether you want to work with him or not.
Right,
You'll
true.
understand the passion, the way he's seeing it.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
And it's usually if you can't narrate,
Right.
I feel you might have a tough time making it.
Got
also.
it.
But
Right.
also to get something on the page, I mean, people have been at it for about 2 years before they actually bring that script
True,
to you.
Yeah.
true.
So I think, I mean, it's the least that an actor can do to
Is
sit
just
down.
read it.
Sit
Yeah,
through it.
true.
But you have to read it.
Yes,
I love
yeah.
reading.
Right. Just hypothetical questions to end on a fun note. If your best friend commits a crime, what will you do? Report it?
Depends on the crime.
Or
The
depends on the friend?
severity.
No, I mean, yeah, depends on the
That
friend
too.
and depends on the
severity
crime.
of the crime. I think
Okay.
it depends on that. But like, I love that you've gone here because really the film does pose questions more than
Yeah.
answer them.
Got
So I
it.
think it depends on the severity of the crime.
Okay.
I mean, certain things are deal breakers.
Yeah.
Okay, like so,
I mean, there's certain kinds
gruesome crime. Okay.
of, and whatever, those kind of crimes or even, I mean, even white collar is bad, but it's probably more forgivable than,
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know,
Okay.
depends.
I would just tell them not to tell me.
Yeah. Why did
Yeah.
you tell
Don't
me?
tell me.
मुझे क्यों बताया?
I'm not that friend.
Okay.
I'm too righteous.
Okay, who out of you do you all think that will solve a crime? Like, is capable of solving a crime? Anyone, do you think?
I think Rasika.
Ah.
She's done 3
she's done
seasons
so-
of
Okay, let me
Jelly
just stop
crime.
you right there.
Come on.
Let me just stop you right there.
You're the
She might
expert.
have- Bro, come on.
Sorry.
I mean, I've been at it for like 15 years. I've only played cops.
Oh, really? How many
to be.
cockroaches
That's
have
a
you
good
done?
I
character.
can't remember.
An actor
Wow.
who thinks he can solve crimes. That'd be a great role, huh?
Next.
Because
I-
he's
Wow,
played
Rashid,
cops.
it's right here.
Who's
Yeah,
the
it is
one
a
who
good
will give out more than what they're supposed to in
I
interviews?
tell you, the Mumbai
Oh.
police are the, I mean,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I think we've played cops, but I'm certainly not as smart as them. They're very clever.
They are very clever. They are something else. Right.
Sorry, but what?
Yeah. Who will give out more than what they're supposed to in interviews?
Me.
Yeah.
Saif, you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You should know.
I mean,
You
you
started
I
with-
just think you should tell
Love it.
interesting stories
You
and be slightly.
You started with Mehuna.
Audacious.
We love it.
I know, right?
It's a
Off
true
the book.
story, you know.
It's a great
Off the
story.
book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think becoming more cautious, but I can't help
No,
it.
please don't. We
my-
love you this way.
My mom always tells me, she still tells me, she's been telling me for 30 years that you should listen a bit more and talk a bit less.
Okay, yeah, lastly, one Kartavya that you yet have to do. You said at the trailer on that you were not doing homework. you
No, someone said, what do you feel, where do you feel you've neglected your duty? We both said that. I mean, it
Your
reminds me of
sister commented on
school.
our Instagram and said he never did the homework, but he always had the answers. Yeah,
I wonder how.
yeah. One Kartavya yet to be done.
Yet to be done.
Yeah. एक कर्तव्य जो बच गया अब तक किया नहीं है.
I know there's
It's on your
constantly,
mind.
there must be something constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some responsibility towards
Anything comes to your mind?
something some families asked me.
For me, it's very clear. मैंने अपनी बीवी के लिए अभी तक घर नहीं लिया. That's my कर्तव्य.
Ah, nice.
Which is
So-
pending.
Where does
So
she live?
sweet.
She lives with me.
I mean, he wants to get
But I
her.
want to get her a house.
You separate house. You want to go somewhere else.
See, this is, I mean, we love it.
Yeah, look at him.
This
This
is
is great Kartavya. Kartavya. I like this.
No,
Great.
I think
My dream is to
घर है
get
तो
my
वहाँ
wife
जाके
another house
Yeah.
in another city, ideally.
love it. I think there is a very clear sense of responsibility, you know, Rohit, and at Netflix really to champion emerging voices. I think there is always that little bit of, we're working with the most incredible creators. You have Suresh Triveni, Rahul Dholakia, Imtiaz Ali, Vishal Bhardwaj, and then to be able to like squeeze space for Aditya Nimbalkar
Yeah.
or Anubhuti Kashyap, Vivek Das Chaudhary.
Amazing.
I mean, I really think like
and
that's
thank
our
God.
constant endeavor.
You know,
I feel
I don't know if this is the point. You can cut it probably, but I shouldn't. This is wasting
No, please say
everyone's
it.
time to talk.
No, please.
But I'm saying there's a. I think in our country and in our film industry, we've always had wonderful directors who are commercial and do numbers at the box office, and then there's lovely stories that people like to tell, which sometimes don't perform quite the same. So the actor is sometimes under pressure because that film might not run in inverted commas, but it'll be an amazing kind of experience to do. And you had to still risk it, right? But now you have a platform like this, which has kind of distilled that way. So you can divide your career, hopefully, between something that's designed for theatres, as well as something that is designed for a lot of viewership online. And I think people have found their home with Netflix, all these names that that have come up, which is really wonderful and very important.
And very different styles of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all of them.
Otherwise, everyone's pressured to deliver on
Yeah.
Friday, and,
Yeah.
and it's a different kind of thing, right?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank
In
you so
service of-
much. Looking
Thank
forward
you,
to
Rohit.
watching this. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Lovely
Thank you, Rohit.
speaking
Thank
with
you so
you.
much.